name's Leaman, originally born in Melbourne, Victoria, and have lived over here for 20 odd years in WA. Was in the Air Force for nearly 22 years, and I then spent time in that 22 years. I spent a year in Vietnam in 1967-68. So I'd been fully trained at that stage to work on the Camaraderie aircraft, so I was the first of the group that were trained to go. My normal daily job, depending on whether you're a night shift or day shift, if you're on the day shift, your job was to prepare the bombs for the bombing missions. So you get the bomb would come in from the bomb dump down to the area, down to the bomb prep area where we were. You put the fuses in the bombs and the tails in the bombs and get them all ready so that they were, then load them onto a trolley and leave the trolley off into one side until it was needed to be collected to actually bomb the aircraft up. The aircraft would probably be bombed up late afternoon, so you didn't actually have bombs sitting on the aeroplanes in case there was an attack or anything like that. It would usually take 1,000-pound bombs or 500-pound bombs, and 6 in the bomb bay and 1 on each wingtip. The aircraft was specially modified to take the bombs in the wingtip because they used to have fuel tanks on there before that, but then they modified them, made some bomb carriers and put them on the wingtips. They were long days, 12-hour days, or sometimes, you do wear your swing shift, it's a 24-hour day. I put on 3 stone of muscle. It was hard work, enjoyable work, and I met a lot of really good friends there. I was there in Vietnam for the Tet Offensive, which was quite difficult. We were being attacked, and so much so that one of our aircraft took off, and they called it in straight onto they just said, they said to the aircraft, would you come in and do a bombing run right along the side of the runway, right along the side of the base. They'd found a whole lot of tunnels right there next to the main bomb dump. So our aircraft was so accurate in their bombing, they did a run along there and bombed right beside the base. But it was full on. That was really the hardest time we ever did. We had people mortaring us and rocket firing and things like that. But most of the time it was quite quiet. You just get on and did your daily stuff, but you just never knew when someone was going to, shoot some rockets or mortars at the base. I'd got rather seriously injured while I was in the Air Force working with explosives, and I was hit in the face with a pyrotechnic mortar. Partway through the demonstration, one of the 3-inch fireworks mortar shells that I was igniting, instead of it having a 7-second delay, it went off instantaneously. And I'm assuming that I'd actually set it off myself, or it may have gone off with a cook-off, which might have meant that there was a bit of burning material in the bottom of the tube that set the mortar off. And anyway, I got hit in the face, and it broke all of my facial bones off my skull and tore my face right open. And I found this out afterwards, of course, that it also broke my base of skull. At the time of the getting hit, I was a bit dazed, and then the mortar shell itself went off next to me on the ground. I then got my radio out of my pocket and started doing my own first aid, trying to hold my face together. And I radioed for help, and I walked out of the explosives area and sat down on the ground and just waited for the rest of the team to come to me. And then the ambulance came, and this Air Force doctor had only just joined the Air Force. I was extremely lucky that he was on duty, because he was able to organise a team of specialists from Melbourne, because he was from Melbourne. And all these specialists came in and took on the role of, I remember him on the phone, and he said, I've got a difficult task that's going to need to be done. These are the sort of injuries you're going to be after dealing with. So they did that, and I spent 10 days in Royal Melbourne Hospital, and they decided they should let me go because I was up and mobile and doing quite a lot of my own nursing. And the Air Force then said, well, you can stay in the Air Force hospital till we can get an aeroplane to take you back at ground level. So I stayed there for another couple of weeks at the Air Force Hospital. I'm now a volunteer with the Department of Veteran Affairs. I do men's health peer education program, and I've been doing that for 15 years. And one of the things that I do have, one of the things we do is we go through all this and make sure that men look after their own health, their own physical health and mental health. And you don't look for any reward, you just do it because you can. And you get that inner feeling of, I've done that's nice that I've done that. You know, and you can see by the looks in their face they've appreciated it. They might never say it, but you know, you can see it. Camaraderie is I think it's a difficult word to, it could be a friendship. It can be like when I was injured in the Air Force. My workmates went out there and looked after my wife's well-being and made sure the house was all looked after. It's things that they do for you that you don't ask, they just do it. And it's a two-way street.